Hello and welcome back to Art for Everybody. My name is Evi Steiner-Böhm. I'm an artist from Germany, and these two little figures here are called Pedro and Rosa, and they are my assistants. Animals are really popular motifs for paintings and drawings. They just have one big fault: they don't sit still long enough for you to paint or to draw them. But luckily enough, we have an alternative. They have relatives, like this little plush toy here, who do you the favor and sit still as long as you need them to. And in this video, I'm going to show you how they make it easy for you to learn how to draw and paint them. I'm going to use charcoal for this little animal. If you have never worked with charcoal before, I have already made a tutorial where I show you the basics. So if you're not sure how to use it, please watch that video first. I'm going to use a charcoal pencil and just normal charcoal. And many people do not like working with their fingers, so you could also use a brush for wiping the charcoal. And this is a kneaded eraser with which you can also work with charcoal. What I like about these little animals is that they are in many cases very well made. If you have a look at the fur now, you can see how it grows from the nose to the ears, how it turns, how it grows around the eyes, that it turns around the eyes. And that's exactly what happens with natural animals. So if you learn how to draw the fur on such a toy animal, it shouldn't be too difficult to draw a cat or a dog or something with fur. What is also very good about these little toys is that you can actually hold them, you can feel them, you can turn them, you can measure them on the animal, and with that you get very important information for your brain. And also many of them have very natural eyes. They all have glass eyes, and you can see that it is round, and you can see the light in the middle of the eye, and that is also very similar to the eyes you can see in natural animals. Most animals have round eyes, and you see very little or nothing of the white of the eye. Only if they, turn their eyes upside or downside, like with horses, you can see the white, but usually you don't see much of it. So this is very similar to natural animals. And also the nose, it looks kind of wet, so you can see light on the nose. So even if it may seem childish to draw a toy animal, it's really very good practice. Okay, also what you can do is you can measure the proportions, and this is what you have to do first before you start drawing. You have to measure how big is the head in comparison to the body, the ears in comparison to the head, or the arms in comparison of the head. So this gives you very good hints how you can draw the outline of your animal. I'm going to put this away now, and you're going to see a photograph of my little friend now, and we will have a look at how we draw eyes and fur and just practice how we can do it. With the charcoal, it's very easy and it's very quick. You can either draw the single hairs, and please do not make this mistake. Many beginners do that. Can you see that? That looks unnatural because hairs, the single hairs, always grow from every bit of the body, and you don't have any regularities there. If you want to do it very quick, you can also fill the whole body just with a gray tone. You can wipe it. And then you can just add single hairs and also have a very natural look if you do it like this. This, of course, is a lot faster. This means you have to, draw every single hair, and it takes quite a while. Both look okay. It's just a matter of style. Okay, if you do not like something, you take the kneaded eraser and you can take things back, make them lighter, go over it again. So there's not much about the fur really you have to know. Just watch closely in which direction the single hairs go, how they turn, like for example, around the eyes. And of course you have to pay attention to the color of the fur. The gray of our little koala should be fairly dark. And if you want the white now, what you have to do, you simply mark the end of the ears and do just some single strokes and leave the rest white. And then you can take back the markings from the start. Okay, and the eye, of course, that's very easy. It's simply a round ball. And if the animal has sort of a lid, which sometimes happens, this little koala doesn't have one, but dogs have them, horses have them. Be careful, then the lid throws a little cast shadow down to the eyes, and your iris has to go darker up here and has to stay lighter down there. And then, of course, you have to leave the light in the eye white from the beginning. And this makes your eye, of course, look alive. Okay, this is all you have to know about the fur and the eyes. And now I'm going to draw the little koala for you and simply let you watch how I do it. So I'm using colored paper now. You can, of course, do it on white paper. And the first thing I do is I mark the outlines of the body of my little koala. And you maybe see it a little different than I do because I have the koala in front of me and the photograph I've taken might be a little different in perspective, but it should be okay. Okay, so I mark with very thin lines the head, which is almost, like a ball. And the ears. And please do not, I cannot put enough emphasis on it. Do not draw contours around it. Just, mark the outlines, and later we are going to take them back a little because the fur does not end in a line. It's something like this. It's very irregular. So if you have a contour beneath it, it always looks unnatural. Okay, then we have the nose here. And now the body of the koala is maybe about half or 2/3 of the head. So it's around here. And it's somewhere here beneath the eye. And then I see the little foot here. And the arm coming down. And this coming down from the ear. And the other foot is a little tricky because there you have to know about perspective, okay? You see this part of the foot is very short. It's just like this. You have to, watch the lines closely and do not let your brain trick you into drawing the foot too long. And we have the arm coming down here. So this is all about the contours. You see, it's not very difficult. And now I'm going to take back a lot of it. So that I have a only very, very vague impression where the body ends. Because we do not want to see the contours, the lines through the fur. Okay, I'm a little lazy, so I'm going to fill the body with a shade of grey first, and will not bother about all the different hairs. So my little animal friend is almost done. Before I put down my pencil, I make sure that I made the lines between the body parts very distinct. That is, I'm going to enforce this line here. And I'm very careful to make the lines distorted, imitate the fur. Also down here, try to go into the head a little. So that I get this plushy, furry look. Down here it can go a lot darker. And these very dark lines at the end. They are very important for the three-dimensional look. Also here. And always try not to get a contour. And you see that I did the white parts with very scarce lines, and you can also take them back so that the impression of the single hairs is very vague. And that's, you know, plenty for the white parts. Same thing around here. It can be a little darker here because this part of the body is in the shadow. But, you know, take it back so that the hairs don't get too dark. So the only thing that remains to be done is now to fix my drawing with a fixative. If you don't have a professional fixative, don't worry, you can also use hairspray, because this is just an exercise and it doesn't have to keep for like 100 years. It gets a little darker as long as it's moist, but you probably can see already that it will get as light as before. So I hope you like my little koala here, and I have inspired you to try your own plush toy at home. I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time when we are going to paint this little koala with acrylics. Until then, have a good time. Bye bye.